Mikey.
Are we live?
We're live.
Are we? Oh, we're live.
We're live, buddy.
What's going down? It's been a hell of a day.
Hell of a day. Very, very busy day today. Very busy day. Welcome, everyone in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Hello, good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon, and aloha. Welcome back to another episode of the Unidentified Celebrity Review. I am your host, Luis Jimenez. The man beneath me is the always sexy Micael Mataluni. We've got guests. We've got news. We've got Patreons. We've got fans. We've got people in the chat. We've got Gaddy Shaw. No, Gaddy Schwartz. Gaddy Schwartz. I'm thinking of Jazz Shaw. Possibly some Jazz Shaw. Oh, God, that would be wonderful. I just tweeted it out. Michael, it's going to be a fun day. You only got about an hour, so we got to get through some stuff.
We got a lot to cover today. I can't believe the news cycles and how fast. I mean, the hits keep coming.
Dude, it's amazing. Absolutely.
Do you feel like you're a part of something kind of special?
Dude,
do you get that feeling? Because I'm starting to feel that way.
I really am. I really, really am. I mean, we talk about this all the time on the phone, man. We see the code. We see the code. I see it. It's so easy to see, and it's a lot of fun. It's holy man. Woo. Okay. So yeah, we don't have a lot of time with Mikey anyway. I mean, who knows? I might go past the hour. Depends on how much you guys share and tell everybody about what's happening right now live. Go tell the people, subscribe, ring the bell, so that way you don't miss when we go live. I got to make something very clear in case you haven't heard yet. We're going to be doing this a lot. Like I said, stuff happens and we can talk about it every day now almost. And we can make it fun, and we've got friends, and the conversation gets unique and diverse, and we're trying to bring as many voices together every day. Think of this as like a mini phone home every day. By the way, go to www.thebigphonehome.com, download your congressional lists, download your Senate lists, and start calling these committees and subcommittees and asking them for more transparency on UAPs. We've got the script. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say the beauty of this, brother, is that we've got things breaking on the mainstream news cycles now on a daily basis. So
daily basis
in combination with all of the mainstream media, if we're pressuring Congress, if we're pressuring our representatives to release this information, we're going to create the momentum, just extraordinary momentum. It's going to be a snowball effect. And that's all because of all you listeners.
Seriously.
I'm blown away,
it's so true. It is absolutely so true, dude. Like, it's okay, man. Let's just where do we start?
I think we start with, well, first of all, let's talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. So number one, the news yesterday, Gaddy Schwartz on NBC News with Lester Holt talking about Jeremy Corbell's releases and Mick West's bouquets, right? So we've got that. We've got your new Patreon that we need to discuss, which is hilarious.
Possibly the best Patreon I've ever seen. Look, I'm not very familiar with Patreon. I only follow a few people.
We've got McGowan. We've got McGowan.
Coming on tonight. And he'll be coming on very shortly. Let's see here. Okay, so where am I? I want to go to my Linktree here real quick. And by the way, if you want to check out my Patreon, please follow along because this is gonna be hilarious. Go to the description down below and click the Patreon, and then it'll lead you to my Patreon. I'm just pulling it up so that way we can talk about it. Oh, so far eight Patreons. Michael, that's fun. And you're one of them.
I was number one. Wasn't it? Was I number one?
Probably.
Goddamn. Yes, that's right. That's right.
A lot of stuff has happened today. I can't remember the order. Don't take offense. All right, let's not get hung up on this. But you are at almost a Netflix subscription. Yes. So thank you. Thank you. That's tier number 3. So Michael's in tier 3, which is almost a Netflix subscription, but yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Okay. And then so what else do we have to talk about? What else did I say?
I think that those were the 3 big topics.
Those are the big 3 topics. Okay, so let's just get into it. And I'm sure
let's get into
things will happen. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do McGowan's mouth off. We're gonna premiere.
Yes.
We're gonna try McGowan's mouth off and see what happens. This is gonna be great. So okay. Sorry. Okay, I can't keep up with the chat, you guys. Sorry, Michael doesn't have a lot of time. God, we keep okay. Okay, let me share. What do you want to do first, Mikey?
Let's do your Patreon because I can see you chomping at the bit.
Dude, I'm not chomping at the bit, but I'd like to get it out of the way first so we can get McGowan and start talking about like Schwartz, Gaddy Schwartz, which, by the way, I please Gaddy Schwartz be watching. Okay, so let's go Patreon. Sorry. All right, here we go. Is this it?
That's your that's your Patreon.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, here we go. This is my Patreon, you guys. So we have we have a lot of cool stuff here. Okay. So first we have a poll.
Where are the different tiers?
Yeah, I don't know where the tiers are, man. Dude, I'm so new to Patreon. Okay, so I got to view the page. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, because it automatically logs me into my thing, right? And then I gotta view public page. There
we go.
It's so weird, so hard to get to this part. Okay, so first of all, we've got the first tier, you guys. Patreon. The Patreon would not let me put 0 tier, so I had to put $1. I could not put anything less. That's the first thing they force you to put. So I had to put $1 tier. Congratulations. In this tier, you get the same access as everybody else who doesn't pay. So think of me as your bartender who serves you a beer, and that beer is my content. You're welcome. Okay. Second tier, $5 a month. Again, congratulations. You get the exact same access as the person who didn't pay. Yep, that's right. Think of it as like a Subway sandwich in 2004. $5 footlong. That was actually $5. Tier 3, which
this is my tier. This is my tier.
This is Michael's tier. Congratulations, Michael. By the way, how much are you enjoying all of the non-access that you get to this show? Even though you're kind of part of it.
Well, but I think the most important thing to me is that I'm getting the exact same access as somebody who pays $0.
That's pretty cool. Right? So actually that's wow. You get the exact same access as the previous tiers, but you also get nothing else.
It's amazing.
Okay? Amazing, right?
Really
okay, so next tier, tier 4. Won't believe the access that you won't get. Take a look at the equal access while appreciating a job well done. You can look in the mirror and one day say, you done good. So that's the $20 a month. Then we have our 5th tier, which is actually one of my favorites. And that is a legitimate bill. $86.44. Hello, unidentified celebrity review cable bill, but without the shitty service. The good news is the access doesn't get any better than here. Or from here. Yeah, I think I wrote that wrong. I'll edit that. Okay, so access number 6. Tier number 6. We got the $500 a month tier, which is called Your Dogecoin Went to the Moon. Congratulations. You decided back in January to dump your entire stimulus check into an unknown currency, and bam, no extra access. And then finally, our last tier, and I got to tell you, this has got to be the most epic tier on Patreon ever.
I can't imagine anybody has a better tier than this.
This is monstrous. You don't have the guts tier. You don't have the guts. $100,000 a month. You really want to fund this show for generations at no extra costs? Or no. God damn it, I messed that up. It's a problem with live. I can't edit. Start that again. $100,000 per month. You really want to fund this show for generations of no extra access? I might call you from a payphone, but it's unlikely.
This is like the Bernie Sanders Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let me know. Let me know if you're out there. You don't have the guts. I would love for you.
I'm dying for like a Brandon Fugel or, you know, like a Donald Trump.
Oh, God. Let's not throw that grenade in here. Okay. Okay. So let's
drop 100K a month.
By the way, one of our Patreons is in the chat right now.
Who?
No extra access. Aaron Desario. It's true. It's true. You get nothing. I'm in for a medium-sized amount, and I've gotten nada, zitch, nil, and diddy squat. It's fantastic. Oh my God, that is so funny. This is the second time you guys made me laugh. Oh God. Oh God. Zero access for you, sir. Okay. I love this channel. I love this channel. Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's bring on McGowan, shall we?
Let us bring on McGowan. There he is.
Mr. Jeremy McGowan.
Is this thing on?
Face.
Check.
It's on. It's on, sir. It's on.
Oh yeah.
There's one thing I know about McGowan. His mic is always on. It's always
on.
Always hot. Mr. McGowan, so what do you think of the Patreon? Pretty good, huh?
I think I need to start one, and I think I need to have a $101,000 tier, and that's the only tier I'm going to have is $101,000. Take it, love it, leave it, hate it, whatever.
How much access do you get with that tier?
Nothing. You're not going to get shit.
Oh, now you're just stealing my shit. All right, that's
cool. No. I mean,
you're just plagiarizing me now. No, it's okay.
You don't even get to see anything. Like
no content.
There's just nothing. You just pay me. Yeah, there's
wow. Actually, you've outdone me. Congratulations. That's like actually, as I'm thinking about it, damn it. I've done this all wrong. Okay.
If I scream, this is really hot.
All right, we'll wait.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, so I wanted to. I mean, Michael, you haven't talked. I've been talking about my damn Patreon forever here. What do you want to talk about next?
I really want to get to this news that broke on NBC last night, and then the Twitter controversy that rolled out today because of it. Mm-hmm. Shall we? And
then we'll hit a huge announcement for this show.
Okay.
Right, because we got, it's pretty fun. Like that was a big reach out that somebody hit us up, and mystery time. You got to stick around to figure out who we're going to be collabing with. Okay. So do we want to start at the video, Michael, or do we want to start? Okay.
Yes. Great. Let's watch the video, and then we'll talk about the Twitter controversy, and then the rebuttal to the controversy, and then and then we'll talk about the air that still has yet to be cleared.
Fair. Here we go. Let me make sure I got my volume up, which I think it is. Yep. Oh, hold on a second. I've got my show here on. Let me mute it. Okay. So that way I could keep track of you guys in there. Here we go.
Tonight, more questions and answers about what appeared to be an upside-down pyramid flying over a Navy destroyer off the coast of California, and a series of pictures showing another mysterious object fly into the water near another warship in 2019. The images obtained by Jeremy Corporal. Confirming the images are being reviewed by a task force set to brief Congress on what they know about what they call unidentified aerial phenomena. On YouTube, some suggest it could be planes mistaken by lens blurring. Others point to ship logs that call the objects drones or UAVs. But a former official of a Pentagon program that dealt with advanced aerial threats says for years, the U.S. military has encountered mysterious objects that seem capable of traveling more than 11,000 miles an hour or able to transition from air to water without slowing down.
Some of these videos are 20, 25 minutes long. In other cases, these things are 50 feet away from the cockpit.
But he says most alarming are incursions over restricted nuclear assets.
We've actually had some of our nuclear capabilities disabled by these things. If Russia or China had the ability to disable our nuclear strike capability or defense capability, that's pretty significant. That's a concern.
When we reached out to the Pentagon about those alleged incursions, they say they do not comment on intelligence matters and that Lou Elizondo left the Pentagon in 2017 and does not speak for the Department of Defense.
Okay.
Welcome.
Gaddy Schwartz, everybody.
Gaddy Schwartz, everybody. Okay, so can I just tell you my first impressions of that video?
Please do.
Okay, the thing that I love about it is that there's no fake videos playing in the background. It's taking itself incredibly seriously. It's thrown out a lot of really good theories as to what might be dealt with, what we're dealing with or not dealing with, and it's pretty straightforward. And there's also a sound clip from Lou Elizondo. So these are all things I think everyone just for this second keep in mind. What are your first impressions here?
Well, I mean, my first impression is, wow, mainstream news media, NBC News is actually covering this topic, right? We've been talking about this for weeks, how Fox News has been covering it pretty consistently for the past couple years. And you just don't hear a peep. And we've heard a couple little peeps out of the mainstream news media, but this was huge because it was on, I believe, Lester Holt's show, which is huge. So the fact that we're actually seeing these things come out of the mainstream now, whether or not you agree or disagree with what that video shows, we can have a whole nother conversation about that. But the fact that they're actually admitting to it and bringing on Elizondo is, to me, that just speaks volumes. We're starting to see this topic break into the mainstream, which is amazing.
Jazz?
Hey, guys.
How you doing? Welcome. Sorry I didn't give you a huge introduction. I'm glad to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Always.
I've had a busy day on this topic myself. Anybody who is following me on social media,
yes,
already knew about that. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think this is an important story, the one that you guys were discussing. I believe that an almost equally big story was Harry Reid coming out today.
Yes.
And Harry Reid came out and gave a just unassailable, no ambiguity statement saying that Lou Elizondo ran TTSA. No, not TTSA.
ATIP,
ran ATIP. And I thought that was huge because we have been given so much bad information by the Pentagon. I've personally been given bad information that has shown up to be untrue, whether the person who gave it to us was deceiving us or was out of the loop. I don't know which is the worst explanation, but there's been a lot of that coming out. And I can't say exactly the network and the person, but I will tell you that before the end of the week, there is an interview coming out with Harry Reid, who's going to be talking about this.
Really?
So when that happens, we will try to promote that. I don't know what he's going to say at the time, but I do know some of the subjects that are discussion, and I think that's going to be interesting too. And we could be coming to a moment where, we're going to have to look back at the last 3 years, the last 5 years, and if we're all being honest, the last 80 years, and saying, wow, you people have been lying to us for a really long time. And now you want us to embrace you and give us your trust. Well, I, for one, am not totally ready to do that, but please go ahead.
I was going to say, who's definitely going to be covering it? This channel right here.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be talking about it. Whenever that does happen, you can bet your ass we're going to be going live on this channel.
And you said, Jazz, that you can't say which network it's coming out on? Or
not yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was asked for input and questions to ask for the interview, but until it's fully scheduled and ready to go live, no, that's not something I can reveal.
Jazz needs a Patreon where he gives no one access to anything as well.
Hey, you know what's really weird? I just looked at Lou Elizondo's Twitter page because I was looking for his response to all of this news that we're about to talk about involving Gaddy Schwartz. And I was unfollow. I wasn't following him, which I found quite strange because I definitely follow him. So anyway, conspiracy theories. Yeah, I just threw that grenade in there. Okay, so McGowan, what do you think? What was your first thoughts on this video?
I think this was the first time that I've ever actually seen a national network pick this up and run with it without cutting to a scene from a local, WKRP version with X-Files music playing in the background. I think that they are now putting their names, their necks on the line. They're attaching their reputation to this. And like Michael said, regardless of how you feel about the videos that they're talking about it. And that is something that did not happen last week. It didn't happen 6 months ago. It sure as hell hasn't happened over the past 70 years. But we have major network coverage of potential UAP activity. And that's amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree. I
and
agree.
There's more of it coming.
No matter what you think about the people that release this information, people are talking about it. That's a good thing. When my mother is sending me this video, that's a good thing. Even
the only caveat that I would ever say, Lewis, is that if this turns out to be a giant nothing burger,
the next words out of my mouth, McGowan, was my mother texted me, right? But I also told my mother, hey, Mom, I'm not 100% sure if this is what they're saying it is. Yep. We have to wait and see. What's wrong with saying that? So that way, if it does become a nothing burger, it's okay. It's okay. We can just move on to the next and more compelling information. So I think NBC is doing an amazing job right here. And I think Gadi Schwartz is sort of the unspoken person at this network who's covering it. And he's covering it a lot. Yeah. So good on you, Gadi Schwartz.
The one criticism that I would have about the video, and of course, I have a criticism every now and then.
Well, it's not the McGowan mouth off yet, McGowan.
Well, this isn't that. This is just they failed to separate the fact that whatever is on that video that was released, the night vision video with the triangle, whatever that is not what Lou was talking about the craft or the objects that had the potential to disable our nuclear devices. Those are two totally and very separate things, not only separate by technology or origin, but separated by decades. So, there's a disparate information gap there, and I think that needs to be addressed because we're talking about two very distinct things here.
Great for sure. Well, I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job at pointing those out as well. I mean, those differences in the last episode, Jazz had some really great points as far as the holes that are there, but what we know, like what is concrete.
Yes.
And so that's what we're trying to stand on is the concrete, not the quicksand. So, I think this is good from all fronts, but yes, I agree. I think the messaging from the top, and when I say the top, I mean the media, I think they should preface all of this with, hey, we don't know. Like that's got to be clear. And then maybe if there is a criticism to this news piece, maybe they don't convey that enough.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Cool. Jazz, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling let down in some ways by certain people that I've been working with for a few years, on the beat covering this. Mm-hmm. But I do think there's reason for hope. I think it's good that we're hearing more discussion. But I still, and I don't want to be the negative Nancy in the whole crowd here.
Since when? What?
We have been lied to a lot. It's just that's just a fact. And the thing that came out today with the Harry Reid stuff, and I know you guys are aware that I was on social media talking about this. It's really disappointing that they seem to have no shame, none whatsoever. We are in a situation where we have representatives that speak to the media representatives that give feedback to the groups that respond to our FOIA requests, who tell us things. And then I'm not talking 50 years later. I'm talking 15 months later.
Yeah.
They come out and say something that's like, well, we told you there were no ostriches earlier. Oh, well, here's an ostrich. But try to forget the fact that we said there were no ostriches, you know, and I'm trying to be polite when I say it's disappointing, because that leaves us, and I know some of us have discussed this offline, it leaves you with two choices. Either they have somebody in charge of distributing the information who is lying to you, or somebody who said something in good faith that, you know, they believed to be true at the time, but they were completely out of the loop, and the person they assigned to tell you this information as a journalist had no idea what they were talking about. I'll throw it back to you guys. Which one of those two is worse?
Well,
would you rather be lied to, or have a representative appointed who's just being totally kept in the dark?
Michael, I'm going to let you answer that. Michael, I'm going to let you answer that. But before you do, I'm just going to tell you, Jazz, don't be bummed out. You got a new beat, buddy. You got a new beat. You got a new crew to hang out with and talk about factual information now that people know what they talk about. So maybe that'll turn your little frown upside down, big guy.
Sure. I'm a ball of sunshine now.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey, what do you got? Answer the man's question.
Let me answer it with a little context here. So for those of you who don't know, previously Susan Go had said publicly,
it's Goff, by the way.
Sorry,
it's Goff.
It's Goff.
Oh, it is Goff.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have the email that Susan sent me when I asked her, when I couldn't get answers on any of the other questions we're discussing. I actually sent her an email and said, I'm hearing your name pronounced all these different ways. Can you tell me how to pronounce your surname? And I still have the email, and she gave me permission to release it, and I sent it to a lot of people. It rhymes with cough because she's of Scottish descent. So it's Susan Goff.
Yeah, that's just
want to get that out
too.
Also, if you don't know, if the word Bokeh is pronounced bouquet, as in bow and K. Yes. So just so everybody knows that as well.
Great. We just lost 15 viewers. Continue, gentlemen.
Can we talk about how doggy coin is pronounced?
Doggy coin. That's right.
Oh no, it's Dogecoin.
I think
it's doggy coin.
Oh, I have a GIF
this
of
is
that.
This is like GIF.
We just lost another 70
Holy
viewers.
Shit. God, Jazz, just back off of the gin for 2 seconds, please.
Dude, I'm a writer. I'm sorry. I was an English major.
My real question to Jazz is it vodka or gin? What's martini of choice?
It's gin. We've
gin.
already asked him.
Yeah. No, there's not an of choice.
Yeah, it's gin.
There is no choice.
A martini is composed of gin, vermouth, water in the form of melted ice, and an olive, and technically olive juice that sticks to the olive. If you don't have all of those things, it's not a martini.
Not a martini.
If you have all those things, it is a martini. There is no such thing as a vodka martini.
See, I'm going to go with Ron Swanson on this. Clear liquors are for rich women on diets.
Wow. Fighting words. Okay.
Wow. All right.
I did not mean to do that. I did not mean.
I mean, we went from
Too late, motherfucker. It's war now.
We went from Susan Goff. God, I was going to say this should be the channel that officially sets everyone straight on the pronunciation. You know what?
That's irony.
You know what? Here we
That's
go. Pronunciation of Susan Goff. All right. So anyway, what was your point, Michael?
Can I please make my point?
Yeah.
I would love to.
I love this show.
So Gotti Schwartz brought up whether or not Lou Elizondo was in fact the original sponsor of ATIP, or excuse me, his leadership in ATIP, and so Harry Reid typed out a letter today and sent it to Gadi Schwartz saying that, yes, absolutely, Lou Elizondo was leading the ATIP program, which most of us already knew, and Harry Reid had already said that on record, but Susan Goff at a certain point said, no, he was never the leader of ATIP. So there was this weird confusion about that. But seeing Harry Reid, I can't imagine he's in great health, coming out of the woodwork to share that. I think that's pretty fascinating. So to answer your question, Jazz, is it worse that she lied or that she was potentially in the dark? I don't know. As a publicist, you're not the same as somebody who has internal access to classified information, right? So I can't imagine why she should have known or would have known. But I do get your point that if we're going to be transparent within the military to the people, then yeah, I guess she should have.
Okay, well, let's look at that. Is it possible that she didn't know? Let's go back to her statement, and this is a statement that I personally received. I still have the email. This is not some exclusive thing that I have. It was put out everywhere. October 21st, 2019. Tons of us sent a request to Sue and said, what's going on with Lou Elizondo? And I will quote right here. She said, Luis Elizondo had no assigned responsibilities in the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program and was not assigned or detailed to the Defense Intelligence Agency. That's not a vague thing. That's not a I don't know. That's
Right.
not I don't have the records. No, Lou Elizondo is lying. I mean, that's basically what she was saying. And then the quote today that you guys just mentioned that was given from Harry Reid, the guy who arranged the funding to create ATIP, and we have multiple documents about his request to make it as a deep access program, the whole setup, said, as one of the original sponsors of ATIP, I can state as a matter of record Lou Elizondo's involvement and leadership role in this program. Mr. Elizondo is a former intelligence officer who has spent his career working tirelessly in the shadows on sensitive national security matters, including investigating UAPs. As the head of ATIP, he performed his duties admirably. So I'm still left with the question that back when I asked Susan Goff about this, and she sent me the same answer she sent journalists from every outlet out there who were investigating the program. Is it that she was covering this up? That she was trying to trash Lou Elizondo for bringing this information to the public? Or was she someone who got set up in a position and anybody she asked said, oh, I have no idea who this Lou dude is? Those are our two choices. But I also, and I'm going to reveal a little insider information here, I sent you guys a link not too long ago, just today. Everybody's talking about Susan Goff as if she's a typical politician's spokesperson who gets plucked out of someplace as a media rep. And it's like, okay, now you have to go talk to the press and we'll give you, excuse me, we'll give you some information. And maybe she was in the dark. That's not who Sue Goff is. Okay. She was a career military intelligence analyst. She wrote the book, literally a book that is still in use, about how to control the flow of information and public conversations. And I sent you guys a link to that. I will happily post that for anybody else who wants to see it. She is not a standard spokesperson. Okay. She came out of retirement to take this job to be the one person. If you ask the Navy, the Air Force, the FBI, anybody, any questions about the UAP task force, almost, not entirely, there are a few people who do have some good ins, but almost entirely, every journalist who asks, gets an answer that says, we have no comment on this, refer your question to Susan Goff. She was the one person out of that massive military industrial complex who was tasked with handling the media and answering all of those questions. And those were the answers we got. Do I have anything to say to everybody that proves that my suspicions are correct? No, I don't. But believe me, I have been a media spokesperson for a politician earlier in my career, and people get plucked out of anywhere for those roles, as long as you look good on camera, which I don't. I'm not saying I do.
You must have.
And well, when I was younger, maybe I wasn't quite as ugly.
Jazz, there's not a second of the day where you're not a dapper gentleman in my eyes.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. But no, she was not somebody that her previous job was the spokesperson for the Food and Agriculture Committee and here, go learn about corn. She's a military intelligence specialist, a career person who was retired and who was brought out of retirement to be given this job.
Damn.
Does that prove anything? I'm not saying it proves it,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, everybody do your own homework and go look at the link to the paper she published, which is still in use today by the military, of how to control the flow of information and public conversations.
Well,
she was the author of that.
That link's in our group. Can I share that in the comments here so people can find it?
That's absolutely free.
Yeah,
Tim McMillan has already published it in a couple of articles. It's not secret.
So,
It's just nobody bothers to go and look.
Jess, I got it. Well, now they know. Damn, yell at them already.
I'm upset about this stuff,
no,
dude.
I get
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, I get it. I get
feel betrayed. You know,
Jazz, that's why we did the phone home, man. For guys like you, former military men, guys like Jeremy here, guys like Lou, guys like Mellon, who've put their asses on the line and their reputations on the line to tell their stories and reveal their really good research. And we're standing on the shoulders of giants. And the thing that I try to remind everybody, this is 1995 when it comes to the progress of this discussion. We're in the very early stages of this medical marijuana movement, but instead it's a UAP transparency movement. And this is 1996, or 1995. Like a senator, we've got one senator right now who's really, really pushing this. But I've already been down that diatribe. I had my question for you, Jazz, is what is the motivation? What do you think? And this is pure speculation, but what do you think is sort of the reasoning that she was put there maybe to control the information? And what do you think is the information that she's trying to guide people towards, I guess, if that would be the best way to describe it?
If I'm going to answer that question, Luis, I have to preface it by saying I don't know.
Right.
I don't have definitive sources or documents.
Right.
Nothing. I mean, I can only interpret the stuff I've been working with for a number of years.
Right.
I do, as I insinuated earlier, there's an interview coming up where maybe, and it's only a maybe, I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
We may get some additional insight of some sort into that.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, because I do work with so many people in Congress, people that have those jobs. And I had, like I said, one of those jobs. You don't take somebody out of retirement from that deep of a background and put them in a position like that unless your intention is to control the flow of information and control the public discourse. That's my opinion. I can't prove that.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I know you can't prove it.
For a minute, do I think that she's in that position by accident because her savings ran out and she wanted to come out of retirement and was like, oh, I'd like another press spokesperson position.
Jazz, let me ask you a question. When did Susan Goff? When did she get put into that position? What year did she get put into that position?
It was a little less than 2 years ago. I don't have that right in front of me, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But we had a number of sources prior to that who were answering questions after the initial 2017 article. We were getting answers from the Navy. We were getting answers from the FBI. We were getting answers from other Pentagon sources.
Is it a safe assumption to say that the amount of information that Lou Elizondo was bringing to the forefront of public discourse needed to be countered, and needed to be countered really hard?
Again, that's not a known thing. That is a thing in several interviews that Lou has implied, at least, that there were people who were in the organization before he left the government that were upset that he was talking about these things.
Sure.
And there was the and again, stress the word implication.
Mm-hmm.
Implication that there were people in the system who were unhappy that he was doing that and perhaps wanted to discredit him. Well, and then we saw that statement from Susan Goff. This guy wasn't even involved. There was a separate one that I can send you guys a link to if you want, where, and this was a short-lived one, Susan Goff came out and at one point turned around and said ATIP never had anything to do with UFOs. Right. Never had anything to do with unidentified aerial phenomena, that it was just looking at unusual technology. And they backed off that one later. But that's yet another example where I was given that statement from Susan Goff that this was nothing to do with UFOs. And now we're back to a whole different thing. So once again, no proof, can't give you anything solid other than the statements we were given, but boy, it sounds like it was a bunch of bullshit. Pardon my language.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you from firsthand experience. First off, I'm not a Harry Reid. I'm not a Susan Goff. I don't have that status or rank or reach or access. But I spent a week at Lou Elizondo's house, and I know.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I know for a fact. I have seen things, and some things I can say, some things I can't because I don't have Lou's permission to. But I have it right here, unequivocal proof that Lou was the director of ATIP. I saw stuff. I know for a fact that he was in ATIP. And I find it, as a veteran, as a military veteran who has come out and who has told my story, I find it distasteful for Susan Goff to be basically saying that the person who interviewed me on a television show, the person who gained my trust, and the person who basically told me that I was not alone and that it was okay to talk about this, is full of shit. And I think that she is, well,
easy, McGowan.
Let's just say that from a veteran's perspective, somebody that went through that, she's not my favorite person.
Well, as a fellow veteran, let me thank you for your service.
No.
So,
well, don't thank me. Thank the guys that didn't come back. So,
yeah.
Same for both of us.
Yeah. Well, ditto. Gentlemen, so that leads me into the next thing that happened in this story. Okay, and that is, let me share the screen here. Gadi Schwartz. Do you know the timeline of this, Michael? What came first, the tweets or the nightly news?
News was first last night, and then the tweets came today.
Okay. So let me find the tweets from Gadi Schwartz. And again, by the way, I've got the link to this video below, so definitely check it out. And I got everybody's link here in the description or in the show. Everybody's links are in the description. So just FYI, Shaw, McGowan, Mataluni, everyone's in there. And by the way, Michael, we got to get to your what we're doing tomorrow, right? Your show tomorrow. Just tell everybody about your show while I'm looking for this tweet. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, tell everybody. I mean, we've got the Google Doc in the description, so might as well talk about it real quick. I'm looking for the tweet.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I'm interviewing a gentleman named Ryan Tanaka from Neurapod, and he's a journalist who reports on. Yeah, he reports on Neuralink, which is extremely exciting. We're actually also looking for anybody else who we're actually thinking about doing a panel style show. So any other experts on brain technology interfaces, feel free to hit me up. So links in the description. Follow me on Twitter at Calamity Mike, DM me. But we're going to be talking to him on Friday about the progress of Neuralink. And I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff that's breaking out with Neuralink right now with the chimpanzee.
Sorry, Mike. I hit the wrong thing.
You're good. With the chimpanzee's ability to control a video game, to play Pong with its mind, which is truly fascinating. So we're going to have a great show at the Debrief on Friday. So feel free to make sure you hit us up, subscribe to the Debrief on YouTube, because that show is going to be live on Friday. But if you have any questions, we've got a link in the description as well, or you can DM me privately if you have any questions about the progress of Neuralink and the
Singularity.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
It's fun.
It's an interesting process.
Wasn't Mark Wahlberg in a movie about all this once?
Let's not go there. Okay. So the text that or the tweet that we're talking about is this one right here. Let me actually just put it on a full screen so everyone can try and see it. I apologize.
Can I interrupt for 1 second and just ask?
Yeah.
So on top of the government lying to us about everything else, it's really true, Mike is saying, that Elon Musk is putting microchips in our systems to control our neural systems? Because, if that's the case, then I'm just going to go on autopilot and just, let the chip do all the writing. So
it's coming down the pike. I mean, the idea is that the writer from the brain of Jazz Shaw can get those thoughts on paper without using his thumbs.
What paper? It would just go onto an email.
Yeah, digitally. Exactly. And then Seth asked, you mean hands-free form a brain implant? We all use our mind to play games. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming fast, guys.
Dude, that's a great comment. But what I was gonna say is, imagine being like a graphic designer.
Dude,
he's just like a movie director.
I mean, they already have VR where you can literally, use your arms to create art. But think about what's going to happen when you have that brain interface and your ability just to think your art into reality.
To the debrief. That's gonna be a killer conversation. If you've got any questions that you've ever wondered about this shit, ask. The link is right there in the description. Okay, so let's get to this tweet.
Do it.
Okay, so Gaddy Schwartz, it was yesterday, Mikey, that he sent it 7:30 p.m. Okay. So that would be 10:30 on the East Coast. So the news probably tweeted it around the same time, but I don't care about timelines. So Gaddy Schwartz says, at least not for this. Gaddy Schwartz says, today, when asked if Lou Elizondo ran the ATIP program, a Pentagon spokesperson said Luis Elizondo had no assigned responsibilities for the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, parentheses ATIP, while he was assigned to the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. That's where he leaves it, right? Now, Twitter went nuts, right? Because it's like, I mean, look, there's no context to this statement. Everyone who follows this is going, what are you talking about, Gotti? How could you not know? Like this, the last 3 or 4 years have been nothing but a confirmation that this guy has 100%. You've got people like former Senator, Majority Leader Harry Reid, who said it multiple times, right? So everybody freaks out, including myself. Like, what is going on? So Sean Cahill wrote right here, we call those lies, Dave. We sack up and call them lies. This is like, people were pissed, dude. And Cahill's a pretty reasonable guy, right? So what happens? Okay, and I even responded to this. I don't want to find my thing because honestly, you guys, I'm so terrible at finding things on Twitter. It's insane. So then Lou Elizondo very eloquently tweets something, okay, about Senator Harry Reid, because Senator Harry Reid then released the letter, okay? And that letter says, this is just hilarious, to whom it may concern, As a United States Senate Majority Leader, I worked with Republican Ted Stevens of Alaska and Democratic Senator, and please forgive me, this is where I get really nervous on these pronunciations, Dan Inouye of Hawaii, to secure $22 million of funding for what would become known as the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, an unclassified, unpublicized investigatory effort dedicated to studying unidentified aerial phenomena. As one of the original sponsors of ATIP, I can state as a matter of record Lou Elizondo's involvement and leadership role in this program. Mr. Elizondo is a former intelligence officer who has spent his career working tirelessly in the shadows on sensitive national security matters, including investigating UAPs as the head of ATIP. He performed these duties admirably. So that, just think about this for a second. Gadi Schwartz tweets that out, and then you get a man with cancer go to either it looks like a typewriter, like it looks like an 19th century typewriter, or it's a really like fancy header for an email, right? And he like, it's like he has to again explain to all of these people, I'm trying to be not emotional here, that this guy was part of the program. Really, like, this is 4 years later, you guys.
Right.
Okay. So everybody's freaking out. And I know there's people in the chat probably going, Lou, don't go there. Just follow me. Okay. We were talking about this in our chat. And there was also, so after this statement is released, then Gadi Schwartz writes, let me pull this up. Big statement from the very senator who secured funding for ATIP, declaring Lou Elizondo's involvement as a leadership role. Well, no shit. Like,
by the way, the senator's name is pronounced Inouye, and that the two people that were involved along with Harry Reid are both people, if you go dig back in the record, who had direct experiences with UAP.
Yeah.
And they had been involved in the military, and one of them was somebody who had run up against the Foo Fighters back in World War II. You know, and these are people who I personally believe had far more open minds. Like, well, yeah, now you're talking about, oh, people are seeing weird shit in the sky. Well, guess what? We did back in the 40s, you know, and we've been wondering about this for a long time. And these are not crackpots. These are, I was about to say, these are not crackpots. These are members of Congress. But we have a lot of crackpots in Congress. So that's probably not a great thing. But no, these are veterans, you know, who have experience.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep, we've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's look into this. I'm not saying there's a definitive yes or no, black or white. I'm just saying these are elected representatives who have been into the topic for quite a while, some with personal experience. And they're just like, yeah, we should have been asking this question a long time ago. Well, okay, we were asking this question a long time ago, but we haven't gotten any answers. So that's where I am on that.
No, that's fine. But sorry, Michael, go ahead.
I just want to address something that was mentioned in the chat here, and it was, well, we've known this since 2019. Harry Reid talked about this in an interview, and so just so everybody is clear, when I spoke with Luis this afternoon, I had to pull the phone away from my ear because he was yelling so loud about the fact that this had been released 2 years ago, and there's absolutely no reason to believe that we didn't know this information, or that Harry Reid needed to write a letter to confirm it. It has already been confirmed by Harry Reid. But my response was, well, but this is an opportunity for Harry Reid to direct it in public, to share that tweet, and now you have print. Now it's in print directly from Harry Reid today. And I think there's value in that, because we forget when we're in this community how easy it is to be like, everybody knows this shit. And they don't.
Yes. Well, that you stole the words out of my mouth. And it was a discussion that we were having in our chat. And Danny Silva made this point. And this is why I love you guys, because you bring this perspective that really brings down the emotion in me. Because I'm an emotional person. I'm an actor, right? That's what I lead with. But what he said was, listen, and this is pure speculation on his part. He does, just like Jazz would preface anything when it comes to, we just don't know. But he does know this. Gaddy Shaw is an amazing reporter. And he has a very good, or Schwartz, I'm sorry. I keep saying Shaw because I love this man. Okay. Gaddy Schwartz is,
by the way, we're not dating.
Reporter. No, I know. But please.
Not that I would mind, but my wife's sitting right next to me right now. So
listen, let's just start with a very light, flirty text relationship, and then maybe we can talk about that.
We'll work from there. Yes.
Okay. But Gaddy Schwartz is, he, according to Mr. Silva, okay, is a fantastic reporter.
My wife's laughing her ass off at you. Right?
I know she is. I know. I'm here to entertain everyone, Mr. Shaw and Mrs. Shaw. Thank you for joining us, my lady. And letting us borrow your beautiful, beautiful husband. So my point is that according to Mr. Danny Silva, he's a really good reporter. And not only that, I mean, they literally at the same time released an interview that they had with Lou. Okay. And this tweet that he has where it's like a cliffhanger, like Gaddy's not really giving you an opinion here. He's just saying, big statement from the senator who secured funding, Elizondo's definite involvement with the leadership role in this program, right? No opinion, no nothing. And even when I saw this, I was like, that's just a weird sort of cliffhanger. Like, why would he just leave it like that? And Danny Silva put it perfectly. And again, this is 1 billion% speculation. But the speculation is just what Michael said. They are, in this topic, they're playing 3-dimensional chess, okay? And not only do they have to get, and again, this timeline is a very good representation of how goddamn slow things move. But it's like videos get released, people ask questions, Elizondo names get dropped with that program. The program is confirmed as real. The Navy confirms it. The DOD confirms it. And then somewhere in this timeline, they're like, nope, all of those things we said are not true. And then they're like, yep, they actually are. And then Go comes into the picture, or Goff. Sorry, Miss Goff. Please come on the show.
She doesn't do any shows.
Well, who knows? We're reaching out to you, my lady. Jazz Shaw, I like to aim for the stars so that way I get to the moon. What my point is that they're playing 3D chess. They're confirming not only at the top of this timeline, the middle of this timeline, you got Harry Reid who said it audibly, but he's never had to come out. And I think this just goes to show you how up to here he is with this shit, that he would stop dealing with cancer and spending time with his family to write this letter. And it's as if Gaddy Schwartz wants that confirmation, that letter. So now he's got it on tape. He's got it in writing. It's confirmed, double confirmed, triple check, and boom, period, end of story. Lou Elizondo was part of the program. Fact. The program existed. Fact. Does not matter what Goff says. Does not matter what comes out of the mouth of the spokesperson for this. It's bullshit. If it doesn't match with what Harry Reid says, don't consider it a done conversation.
Gaddy Schwartz played Columbo.
Yes.
That's exactly what he did.
Let me share something with you on that context, because it's rather humorous, and this is no negativity. I just want to share specifically what was said. So in Gaddy Schwartz's tweet where he released the Harry Reid statement, Post Disclosure World, aka UFO Jesus, says on Twitter, the conspiracy theorists may be disappointed, but it's good that the air has been cleared. And then immediately gets a response from at Mick West, who says, how does that clear the air? You've still got a very direct and resolved conflict between Reid and the DOD. And I said, hey, Mick, Are you thinking that Reed is lying or that the DOD is simply not disclosing on account of being caught in a lie? And he says, I don't know, but I know it is not resolved, air not cleared.
Okay, I'm not going to get into a whole Mick West thing because I've been trying to be more
listen.
calm
Jazz,
with
hold
Mick
on a
West
second.
recently.
Jazz, can I give you the secret to Mick West? Can I give
Sure.
you the secret to maybe help you let go of that hatred when it comes to Mick West?
I don't have a hatred.
No, well, I'm just saying, like, it clearly gets you emotional, though. That's fair to say.
No, but he's saying he's trying to do better. He's trying to.
No, I get it. No, but what I mean is just here's the secret. He's trolling you. He's trolling you. This is the shtick of Mick West.
I still believe that that's a definite possibility. But even if that's true, I do think, and I'm not the only person who says this, there is a value in having debunkers out there.
Yes.
Because there are crap videos that show up.
Oh,
there are
God,
crap
yes, there are.
photos that show up. There are, and you don't want to be the person that is looking for the truth who goes and signs on to something that's crap.
Yeah.
So I don't think Mick West is without value.
Yes.
We got into kind of a spat this week.
But it doesn't mean he's not trolling you either.
Well, no, he's still trolling.
He's having a good time is what I'm saying.
But all three of you, I will tell you right now, for the stuff we're just talking about, even though I feel horrible, I can't say any more about it. I will send each one of you, if you provide me with your snail mail addresses, I will send each one of you a bottle of very expensive booze at the end of this week if there hasn't been an interview on a major network with Harry Reid that will answer many of these questions. And it is
yes! Oh, God, so much fun, man. Michael?
I'm excited.
Michael? I love this goddamn channel, man. Do you see the code? It's
beautiful.
It's
beautiful. And
man.
I want to just quickly, and we did this the other day on the Big Phone Home as well. We mentioned, and we specifically, when we brought up Mick West, we said Mick West does a service to the UAP community in that he helps to debunk things that otherwise would catch fire and make us look stupid, right? And so if you're somebody who has an independent interest in this phenomenon, it's good to have these things. Now, we also made the statement that it's also important that it has to be in good faith. And come from a non-biased perspective. If your job as a debunker is simply to grab any piece of information that proves your point, you're no better than anybody else trying to fake somebody into believing their point of view. So the role has to be in good faith. It has to be about getting to the truth. And the bottom line for everybody who's on this channel is they want the damn truth. And I think that's where we should be coming from.
Who's yelling yes in the background?
I'm getting the flag.
Okay, go for it. Get the flag.
I have to leave.
All right. Well, give the lady our love.
Jazz, if people want to follow you, where can they do that?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yes, I'm getting off on. Nobody should follow me.
No, you're
just really terrible idea.
Jazz Shaw's link is in the description below.
I'm Jazz Shaw on Twitter. I'm on the debrief. Just you can do that. My wife has really lost patience with this tonight.
Go for it, Jazz. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Thank you guys for having me.
So I appreciate you coming in.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
You too.
Yes! Yes!
Oh,
I mean, I don't think there's ever been a better moment on this channel ever. That's why you got to ring the bell, people. That's why you ring the bell on this channel.
My wife never does that.
We embrace the weirdness here. All right, we embrace all of this good time. So, man, love it. Love it. But just to end this, Gaddy Schwartz, I have been, here's the thing, right? I'm a dumb actor. I'm just an emotional dumb actor. And sometimes I don't see the code when it comes to this. I don't see the matrix when it comes to when reporters report on things, and especially when it comes to good reporters and good reporting. And this is it. This is good reporting. I know it's frustrating to a lot of people, but you got to give Gaddy Schwartz. I keep messing. I'm afraid to say his last name because I've already messed it up a couple times. But you got to give Gaddy Schwartz your love. And if you maybe yelled at him a little bit, maybe apologize, because once you understand from that perspective, or at least that speculative perspective, that journalist speculative perspective, you kind of start to see, okay, I see what they're doing here. They're playing the long game. It's a 3D chessboard, and we're just pawns on the very first level of the chessboard. Let some of these guys who know how to do good work do their good work. I wish, if I did have some critiques, I do wish that when that answer was given, there was a follow-up question. Like, I don't understand as a reporter why you can't go, well, I mean, what about Senator Harry Reid confirming that Lou Elizondo was 100% part of the ATIP program? I mean, that's public knowledge. So that kind of contradicts what you're saying. They would have to answer the question. And I bet you if it's Susan Goff, maybe she does know how to answer that question 100% properly. But if it's not, who knows? Maybe you get an interesting answer that they didn't prep for. I just don't understand. And maybe I don't understand how a newsroom works or how questions work in that setting. But I know this isn't the Trump administration. I feel like there's a little bit more freedom right now when it comes to the press getting a couple more questions in. So I'd like to know that. But other than that, man, the guy's doing killer work, and I have to apologize because I didn't really yell at him, but I'm like, look, dude, I really like your work, but why is this a question right now? I just don't understand. And of course, then when I got the context, now it makes more sense. But I would love if Gotti maybe every once in a while open source Twitter for a good question for these guys.
Yeah.
Let us help you. We know you can't spend all day on UAP stuff. You have to report on other things. So why don't you just lean on us a little bit? I mean, Danny Silva, I'm sure would have been able to throw out a killer question.
Well, there's a ton of military folks that would be more than willing to work with somebody like Gaddy and give him the prompts that he needs to be able to ask the questions that get to the meat.
Right. And I put this comment up because I want to address it real quick. So disappointed they debunked the Corbell pyramid video. I still want to believe. You can still believe.
Nothing's been debunked yet.
And by the way, nothing's been debunked. Nothing has been debunked. Nobody knows what they are yet. We don't have any proof.
We don't know what there are.
Right. We don't know what they are yet.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's possible. But again, that's speculation. What we do have flight logs. We do have the Navy saying, yeah, that was us. We actually took that video. We don't know, why they took that video. We don't know the date. We don't know the times, but to be fair, the one thing one question I do have, okay, and Micael, maybe you can confirm this. Were the other triangles also supposed to be craft, or those were supposed to be reflections of stars?
I don't know. I mean, that's what Mick West was saying. He was saying that because of the bokeh effect, that the stars look like triangles as well. And I wish Corbell was saying. He's saying that the plane was out of focus, and it was those were strobes, and that triangle was a plane with a bokeh,
right.
Which is very possible. It's very possible. Now, what boggles my mind is the idea that the experts who reviewed this ahead of time wouldn't have known that and been able to easily say this is not a UAP, but Susan Goff didn't say that. That's not what she said. And so there's this weird.
Well, it's not in her interest at this point in time to tell us what it is or what it isn't.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Her what's in her interest is to, in my opinion, is to do exactly what she is doing right now. And on my Twitter, I put out, right before we started the show, is Susan Goff inept, evil, or really, really good at her job? And I honestly believe that she's really, really good at her
Yeah, I think
job,
it's
and her job is she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do, whether we like it or not. She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do.
Yeah,
well,
and that's frustrating to a lot of people. I mean, Seth Kocher's comments keep jumping out at me. He's so angry. He's so mad.
Why is he angry? Dude, I can't keep up with the comments sometimes.
He's mad. He's mad because he's sick of being lied to. Like the majority of the American people. You know, we're all tired of it.
Seth, we've been waiting this long. I trust me, dude. Another 180 days is nothing. Just again, like look at the timeline that we just displayed for you and how slow it was to confirm 100. I mean, here we are 4 years later, and today is the day that Lou Elizondo's been confirmed as part of the ATIP program. Like, really?
But that's he was confirmed before this.
I know that
way before this.
No, everybody knows that, but that's my point.
Not everybody.
That's no. I'm saying
even on the TV show,
everybody in this circle.
On my episode, right after I came on Unidentified, they cut to Lou sitting with Harry Reid talking about this.
Yes, I know this
2 years ago.
I know this, McGowan. That's what I'm telling you. But the problem is that this is like, dude, this is not only crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's and this has got to go through 15 different checks. So that way, when a big story does pop, these are facts.
Yeah.
We can go historically through them because they are laid out perfectly for us. We got the video of Senator Reid saying we got a goddamn letter when he had cancer, like written from his old school typewriter. Like, this is like, it's a checklist. And that's what I'm saying to Seth Couture is that it took 4 years to confirm Lou Elizondo's existence. Like, that's the point. And that's what I'm trying to get people to see. And that's what it took so long for Danny Silva to crack in my skull. It was like, dude, this is just confirming. This is good reporting is what it is. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know it's not rubbing you that way. It's not sexy. And the information really is a little jumbly in how it's done because maybe intentions don't want to be revealed. Who knows? We could be totally off on this. We could be totally wrong, by the way. Again, this is speculation, but I'm trying to listen to the journalists in the room and the people who report on these things and do really, really great work. And according to Silva, that's his speculation.
Yeah, we are so used to having a us and them type of narrative, right? The problem is we don't have an us and them storyline with UAP. We have us and them and them and them. And even inside the US government, and take it down from the government into the military, there is an us and them happening inside the military. There are factions that want this out. There are factions that don't want any of it out. There are factions that want to separate what is US tech from what is off-world tech. And none of this is coalescing behind the scenes. So we're not going to get anything until they figure out how to give it to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we could figure out how to convince them to give us the grants and the tools in a tool belt to go get the information ourselves, collect the data as citizens and as universities and institutions, and then cross-reference that data with maybe some classified information and give people some special access to allow them to do that and then determine, okay, what crosses and what's okay in that crossing zone to release to the American people to give them a little bit more comfort, a little bit more trust, a little bit more transparency, a little bit of everything that everybody wants.
Yeah.
More data.
I think one of the things that needs to happen, and I guarantee it's not going to happen because it's not how the government works. It's certainly not how the military works, but we need to separate the idea of US tech from UAP. And we need to do it because there are people like me that are coming out onto the scene. I have AI in the Osiris. People are going to do things better than me. People are going to have better sensor tech, and people are going to find our secrets if we don't point them at the things that we should be looking at. So the U.S. government needs to come out and say, the TR-3B, don't look at that. But this is what we don't know what the hell it is. We want to crowdsource information and have everybody that is out there look for this because we don't know what the hell it is either. Yeah. And that keeps our national security secure. And it gets everybody focused on what the actual issue really is.
That's exactly right. And the problem that we're seeing is now all of these different drone sightings and all of this activity from China and, well, specifically China, who's just crushing the drone war. We're going to have now that be yet another thing point to and go, see, it's drones. And you see it. Right. You see it on Twitter. They're like, no. You guys don't understand. It's drones. And it's like, well, yes, an enormous amount of it's drones, but not all of it's drones.
Right here. This is stuff that I've got on my desk. This is patents from, what is that, 1993, when we're patenting technology, like this, right? So I was contacted today by a guy from Vice who wants me to start consulting with him. So when Vice comes out and says, what the hell is this? They want to have me bounce it through my repertoire of potential drone aircraft to see if I could help eliminate the noise.
That's great. That's exactly what we want.
Weird team.
It really, it would. Yeah. Oh my God. Buddy Cop Show. Buddy Cop Show. It'll be like Lethal Weapon, but way better. God damn. We see
more like the Starsky and Hutch remake.
No, Starsky and Hutch sucks compared to this, man. This would be killer.
Oh my God, McGowan and West.
Wow, McGowan and West. It even's got a nice ring to it. Holy cow.
I like the fact that I'm
going to get in touch with West. I'm going to get in touch with West. I bet we could get both of them in this room.
Do I get a single card on the credits?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Let's do that.
Listen, hey, McGowan, would you be up for for a conversation like this with West?
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually had a probably about an hour and a half long private off the record conversation with Mick, where I was talking to him about the Osiris because I wanted to see what Mick would like to have the Osiris put out. What information would I be able to give Mick West that would make Mick West happy?
Man. Oh my God, this is happening. Like as soon as I end the show, I'm hitting up Mick because he's been on the show before. So this is going to be awesome. Okay. Yeah. So, Mikey, the reason why I'm bringing up this comment, okay, can we work on a potty break? Asking for a friend.
Just take the computer with you.
No. What I was going to say was, Michael told me he only has an hour today, and we've gone up an hour and 18 minutes. So, what do you want to do, Mike?
Yeah, I'll stick around for another 10 minutes and then be out.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's. Okay. Because we still got the McGowan mouth off, and what was the other thing that we wanted to talk about?
I think we hit on the other things already.
Oh, our special announcement.
Oh shit!
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay, we got a killer collaboration.
Yes.
Wait, let's do this. Let's end the show with a collaboration and let's start with the McGowan mouth off because we've never done this before. And this is a complete improvised thing that we're doing tonight. Okay. Because we love McGowan's voice. We love his mind. And sometimes he can have what are referred to as some strong opinions. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let McGowan go off for, let's say, a minute. Okay. Or whenever you're done. And hopefully but try to condense it. All right. It's not going to be personal. But you know what? I'm not going to say what it's going to be. I'm going to let McGowan define what it's going to be. But here's what I will say. This is an editorial. Okay. Think of this as sort of the Daily Show's version of Back in Black. And the opinions expressed on the McGowan Mouth Off do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this channel. So please don't let it affect your Patreon subscription, which, by the way, has 0 access for every single level. And don't let it affect your subscription clicking or your liking or your ringing of the bell.
That is the worst disclaimer I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it's a disclaimer, McGowan. I'm afraid I have to put on every single one of the McGowan mouth-offs. So without further ado, Mr. McGowan.
Fair enough. the one thing that I want to bring up right now is something that we kind of touched on in talking about Gladdy, is the fact that there's not enough educated people asking the right questions, because the people that have the information to know what questions to ask, they don't have the access. And the people with the access aren't coming to the people that have the ability to ask these questions. So one of the things that was in the report that Gladdy put out, and it's been touched on for several years, is that sometimes these UAP, or at least in one incident, according to Lou, has turned off our nuclear capabilities. They've affected our missile systems by turning them off. What I want to know is, did they turn somebody else's on at the same time they turned ours off? Because that right in there, if that happened, these things are not benevolent. They are sure as hell picking sides, and it's dangerous as hell. So if that occurred, we should be able to find out. We need international cooperation, and we need military folks to be advising the people that are asking the questions, the people that have the answers, and not just any military folks, but specifically people who have had their own experiences. So they're not the guys that are wanting the X-Files music being played in the background. And that's what I've got. We need veteran involvement in this, and we need people to ask the questions, and we need to know, let's take this to the benevolent or malevolent argument. If they turned ours off, did they turn somebody else's on?
That has been the McGowan mouth off. All expressed opinions on the McGowan mouth off do not necessarily respect or reflect the opinions of the unidentified celebrity review, its hosts or guests. Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremy McGowan, for the
Please
McGowan
don't
mouth
sue
off.
me either.
Jazz! That worked. First McGowan mouth off went off without a hitch. We had people loving it in the comments. Oh, by the way, somebody asked a very important question. Oh man, wait till you get a hold. I clearly didn't see the beginning of the show. Mr. Zagnius Gelrick?
Sagnius, maybe.
Gelrick, where is the Patreon link? In the description of this video, you will find my Linktree. Click it, and the very first thing is my Patreon, my brand new Patreon. Look at this beautiful.
And make sure you click the last tier.
Yes. The last tier is hands down. Well, you don't have the guts. I'm sorry, Gelrick. You don't have the guts for the last tier. I'm sorry. That's challenge accepted, I hope, but I doubt it. But honestly, though, if you want a legitimate bill monthly, we got you covered. But guess what? Zero access. You get the same access as the guy who pays nothing. And the guy that pays nothing, guess what? You get the same access as the guy who's got the guts. We don't have that one yet.
Oh, you're wrong. I'm so sorry.
What?
I forgot. Oh, you don't know. You're new to Patreon.
What?
They do have access. Everyone has access, a direct messenger access to you, Luis.
Oh.
In Patreon.
Oh, well. Oops. I mean, oops. But I mean, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Just reach out to me on Twitter. I'll hit you up there. Don't worry about it. Same access.
Yeah,
same access.
DM him on Twitter for free.
Same exact access. So, Ulrich, if you got the guts, show it, buddy. All right. So, okay, now all of that is out of the way. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Let's tell the people.
Yes.
About our fun collab that's coming up. Mikey,
yes.
You tell the story because it kind of went through you.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend. I had the opportunity to interview a gentleman, Eclectic Method, Johnny, aka Eclectic Method. Yeah, go ahead and pull up his Twitter. He reached out to me today because he's fascinated by this topic, and he is just an extraordinary gentleman. He's been doing, he's the remix king. Rolling Stone called him the remix king. The dude is just fascinating. Yeah, there he is. He's at, what is that?
It's at Eclectic Method.
At Eclectic Method on Twitter. The dude's amazing. Make sure you give him a follow, because on Thursday at 4:30 EST, he is going to be starting what's called I don't know if you guys are familiar with Clubhouse, but Twitter's doing something similar to Clubhouse, where we're having a conversation. You can have a conversation. It's called Spaces. And we are going live with Eclectic Method, as well as some pretty incredible folks who are in our group. McGowan, I'd love for you to be there as well. But we're going to be going live at 4:30 Eastern time to talk to Eclectic Method about UAPs and his fascination, our fascination, and the news of the day when it comes to what is breaking down. So if you are somebody who likes Twitter and uses Twitter, or you're somebody who likes Eclectic Method, please go to Twitter, follow him, follow us, follow the Unidentified Celebrity View, follow at Calamity Mike, follow what's at Jeremy Unidentified One.
Unidentified. I couldn't fit the whole thing in there.
And we'll hit you guys up to join that conversation on Spaces.
And by the way, I don't know if I have Eclectic Methods. I'll add it to the description and as soon as the show's over. But I tell you, I had no idea who he was. Zero clue whatsoever. Full disclosure. When Michael hit me up, he was telling me all about him. I'm like, great. Who is that? And so he sent me his Twitter quit, and the first thing I saw, Mr. Eclectic Method has 500,000 Twitter followers. 500,000 Twitter followers. I was like, oh my God, yes, please come on the show. Let's hang out. Let's talk, dude. This is great.
Eclectic Method is the coolest, sweetest guy you're ever going to meet. He actually just started creating NFTs. I mean, this guy is a genius. I mean, I'm talking about a musical genius. Not only that, but he's also a genius artist. And so he's been creating NFTs, and they've just been blowing. He actually said the other day, he said over the 10 years he's had his YouTube channel, he's made more money selling NFTs in the last 60 days.
What? Oh my God. I think we're going to have to change the subject of this channel when he comes on. I need some of that NFT money, baby.
The guy's amazing.
It's a currency.
It is. And he's such a sweetheart, and you guys are just going to absolutely love him.
Dude, holy cow. Look at this. There are your bosses now, Louis.
Hey, XUAP was asking for an Osiris update, and I just wanted to just
lay it on him.
Everybody a shout out. I had a little bit of a setback with the Osiris the other day. I almost caught on fire. The Land Rovers have a really, or at least my Land Rover has a really unique system called the active cornering enhancement, where if you take a turn too fast, the hydraulics kick in and it kind of straightens up the body. Well, I blew a hydraulic line, and it started pissing hydraulic fluid all over the manifold, and smoke was billowing out, and I caught it before I actually caught it burst into flames. But apparently there's only like one manufacturer of the line that I need, and they don't make them until you place the order. So I am down for the count until I get this new line that comes in and installed. So the Osiris is currently motionless. But I have signed a memo deal, and I am now 100% officially involved in a production. And as soon as I get clarification on what I can and cannot say with the NDA, I'll put a little bit more information out there. But I am officially involved in a film production that deals with the scientific data collection on UAP. I'm not the front runner. I'm not the lead title on this. There's going to be a lot of folks, a lot of talent in this, and I'm a little itty bitty part.
Yeah. Well, you know what it sounds like you need, McGowan?
An agent?
Nope.
A paycheck?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I need both of those.
Yeah, I'm sure you do too, but I was going to say, it sounds like you need a Type 1 Civilization 3D printer.
Yeah.
When things break, you can just print them out.
Yeah, I'm not certain. So this specific line on the Land Rover, that thing has 1,800 PSI in it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I said type 1 civilization 3D printer. We're type 0.
Yeah, because I've got my 3D printers in the next room over, and they're currently printing little figurines for my kid. But
no, not that one.
A Dyson Sphere printer.
I'm talking about the printer from. What do you think? When do you think we'll get type 1, Mikey?
You talking about the replicator from Star Trek?
No, I'm talking about a 3D printer that can print organs or.
The one from Fifth Element. The one from Fifth Element.
Yeah, there you go. Like
it's coming.
That's what I'm saying. When do you think we'll hit that kind of 3D printer? Because I feel like that's like a jump.
We just did. There was an article that came out. God, I want to say, I don't even know the outlet, but it was an article that came out that said we now have the technology to be able to 3D print bones inside your body.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's the nanotech, dude. The nanotech is coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
So we're close to hitting that type 1.
Yes.
We're going to get walking dolphins.
We might see it. We're
going to get walking dolphins. This is going to be a big part of my new channel, which is called the Singularity Lab. And for those of you who are interested in that future tech stuff, my current channel is called Cocktails and Calamity, but we're rebranding. But if you follow my Linktree down below and follow Cocktails and Calamity, you'll get updated when we turn into the Singularity Lab.
Nice. Very, very nice plug, Michael. And by the way, that's not go check it out, man. Like Michael's doing some really great, very smart, highbrow entertainment over there. And what's the name of the new channel again?
The Singularity Lab.
The Singularity Lab. Love it. Can you guys hear the music?
I can.
Yes. Good. Excellent. All right. Well, Michael, I know you got to go.
What a show.
What
amazing
a show,
guest,
man.
Too, by the way. McGowan, dude.
McGowan, thank you for coming by.
Hey,
I'm here. We got our first McGowan mouth off, which was epic, right? Oh, Elysium. That's a good flick with that sort of nanotechnology stuff and exoskeletons. That is it. It could have been better, but it wasn't bad. Anyway, McGowan, thank you so much, sir, for stopping by.
I appreciate it.
Getting weird with us here on another episode of the Unidentified Celebrity Review. Mr. Micael Mataluni, as always, man. God, you're going to see this guy all the time. These guys. Stuff. You're going to see everybody all the time. We're going to have some crazy, crazy guests coming. Again, ring the bell. Subscribe to the channel. Go for it, McGowan.
If anybody has a question for Colonel John Alexander, I am meeting him for another dinner tomorrow. Find me on Twitter right there and shoot me a DM for questions if you have any questions for Colonel Alexander.
Also, I got McGowan's website in the description of this channel. I got Michael's Linktree in the description of the channel. Everybody's links is in the description of the channel. So check everybody's work out. This is a family here. We're going to have a lot of fun. This channel's going to get so much better. The guys are going to get so much better. The growth of this is going to be crazy. I'm telling you guys, the people that are reaching out, I told my girlfriend today, I can't keep track of it. Like I'm afraid I'm going to promise somebody to meet somewhere at a certain time and I'm going to miss it. And so she's going to help me set up a calendar where people can request to come on the show. So this way I don't have to write it down on a paper calendar. It's 2021, for God's sakes. Time to move on, right? Okay. So again, thank you everybody in the chat. John, Thomas, XUAP, Alien Girl, Rather, Aaron, Jack, Mike, John Poe, all of you wonderful, beautiful people. Check out the Patreon. I'm telling you, the access is as equal as anywhere. So enjoy that. Until next time, you guys.
Jazz!
Jazz! Yes!